previously on Odessey of the Dragonlords. Last time the party left the Mithril Forge, heading with a dragon escort back towards mytross at the request of King Acastus. On arriving at the city, the party found the city under siege from the Titan god Sidon, who fired lightning down on Modius, injuring him, but he withstood the god's wrath. They were led into the city and then taken to the palace, where they first got a sight of Icarus, the king's dragon, sitting on a hoard of silver. They then had an audience with the king, where he demanded the heroes make penance to the Stormlord in some way to end the siege of the city. This situation was a verbal sparring match that ended with the party deciding to back a course of action from the god Valus, who wanted to bring together the 4 remaining gods to use their magic to solve the issue. We catch up with the party a few hours later inside the palace, and there is a message from Valus asking for an audience with all of them. Okay, everyone. So yes, you guys were obviously here from last time, and it's been a few hours since your meeting with the king, and you've had a chance to rest a little bit, chill out, and talk things through a little bit with Kira, who seems incredibly agitated by all of what's been going on. She's come to the conclusion that she doesn't fully know what her sister's up to on that one, but clearly her, now that this message has come through, she's, well, I guess we'll have to go and see her and see what her plan is. So I don't know, it seems like we're on the back foot here, guys. I'm sorry, I've been out of mytross too long to know what's been going on here, and I'm not the best with politics and that's kind of what she does, but any questions you have, I think we'll be able to solve with that. The message was brought to you by an aide that Heliod you do recognize as being one of the ones that actually works directly for Valus, if that makes sense. She's one of the Amazons, but yeah, she's been hanging around waiting for you guys to get yourselves together, ready to take you to the Queen. She seems like a no-nonsense sort of person, would be the best way of putting it, but she's been waiting patiently in the other room as you guys have been sort of getting yourselves ready to go for whatever this meeting is. Is there anything that you need to be reminded of from last time, as in something you're not clear on from what happened with all of last week's stuff, if that makes sense, or the week before last? Honestly, it's been 2 weeks now, but you understand it was the king. You had your meeting with the king and what went on, and you made a choice of one of sort of 4 options. Is the best way of putting it. And you've chosen so far that to go with Valus's plan. It was the best of the bunch, if that makes sense. But no, cool. Okay, so basically, the guard Michaela will sort of make her way over to you guys and brings the is going to start taking you off towards her actual inclination of taking you to Valus's place, to Valus's side of the palace, to actually start getting things moved on that one. So I'm assuming you guys are, unless there is any other questions or anything, you're all okay to follow suit as this is all going on.
Yeah.
Does it seem okay? Does she seem trustworthy, or does there anything suspicious?
You can certainly make an insight check of this woman and see what you think. That's no problem. Heliod, from your point of view, you know she would be incredibly loyal to Valus. Yeah, so you would be very aware of that. With a 12, you're not picking up much. She seems stern and kind of hard to read, would be the best way of putting it.
Okay.
On that one, but that doesn't it doesn't bode good or ill, if that makes sense. It's just one of those it's more one of those kind of situations on that one. Kira is kind of like anyway, I suppose I'll have to come with you then. And she sort of like shrugs and sort of looks around a bit and seems a bit awkward about it, and it's like I guess I'll have to go and see her with you as well, I guess. And she seems just a little bit like put off by it all. Michaela will start wandering you guys through the actual palace. Obviously, it's a grandiose place. You've obviously seen Pythor's palace. This is like a an incredibly scaled up version of that would be the best way of putting it. It is definitely as lavish as you can get in this setting is on that one. No expense spared, considering that they have a giant dragon that lives in the middle of the throne room. They've got a lot of space is probably the best way of putting it. It takes you a little while to make your way across, and you're taken to what they call the Queen's Wing, off to one side. And eventually you're taken through to some what look like some fairly lavish quarters, and you're literally guided into a room. And when you do arrive, let me bring the people that will be here into the room. There is obviously going to be Valis, and she will be sitting on one of the main chairs in the middle of the room. There is also another Amazon woman and a bunch of guards that sort of stand off and around, obviously the Queen's protection. But she's like, Valis says, "I welcome you all again. Hello. It's good to see you again as well, Heliod." Obviously, giving you a nod and obviously.
Yeah, I sort of bow my head as I enter.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's more a case of that she's known of you, and obviously, when you've ever been in the Temple of the Five, you have seen her pray there every other day, if that makes sense. So you're at least acquainted with her. But until she knew you were the hero of prophecy, that's a whole different ball game. Valis sort of looks at her sister and sort of Kira, and Kira sort of goes, "Valis," and they sort of give each other a sort of a stern nod as this is all going on as on that one. So they're fairly uncomfortable. But she says, "Please come in, sit, please. I obviously I've heard of you all, and I know a little bit, but now it's time to get introduced. I understand you have done quite well on your tour, on your labours so far. I believe you have already drunk from the Horn of Balmetria, and you have also managed to do some other quests in your time already, enough that news has even managed to spread back to here. Well done.
Indeed.
It certainly serves you well. I'm sorry to say you arrive at a time when our enemies have laid their plans and maybe have caught us off guard a little bit. We thought we would have more time, and I hadn't understood my husband's motivations and how he would react to certain situations. I can only apologise for him." And she's obviously talking about King Acastus, which is obviously her husband, but not that you would know it from the way they treat each other when they were in the throne room, but that is who she is talking about. So, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, so what is going on? Why is this Titan god attacking the city?
He knows he's moving his chess pieces in the best way he can. He's realised that there was an opportune moment here to strike a victory of sorts, and he's taken it. By doing what he's done, he has forced my husband's hand, and in turn forced him to at least pit himself against you. And in doing so, that obviously causes us trouble. We thought we would have till the end of the Oath of Peace, but of course I keep forgetting that as long as we are not fighting with them and they're not fighting with us directly, there are parts that they can damage and wield against, and you are part of that.
So where can we find this Titan then?
Sidon, he will probably be in Praxis at the moment. That is his own private island out in the Nether Seas. It will
Always
be
nice to have your own private island, isn't it?
Indeed, it's one of his many advantages as the Lord of Storms. He also has the power over moving the islands around. He has that power. If you do not have magical ways of navigating the seas, he will always win. And I assume that's probably one of the reasons that you need to get the information about the Ultros from my husband. I am aware that it is his birthright. You guys are aware that the Ultros is the magical ship that that Cal saw in his dreams, and that you know that is a part of something to do with what's going on. It's now starts to dawn on you that magical ships are needed for certain things, and that might be why that's coming to fruition as part of the dreams that the Horn of Valmetria gave you. My husband is directly related to Esther Arklander. He would be many generations removed, but he sees himself and fancies himself in the same ways as they did, a dragon lord. And then she looks directly at Silas while saying that. The dragon lords of old were very powerful, and they had many things at their disposal. One of them was the magical ship, the Ultros, a ship that could sail the seas regardless of what Sidon would dare do against them.
Yeah, we took a look at his tomb, didn't we?
Yes, Esther Arklander's tomb. You absolutely did. Yeah, you saw that. That's in right. Telemach. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, you saw it was. You saw it was. Yeah,
Esther of Kira.
Yes.
Dryad.
Kira is backing up in the room as these things are being said on that one.
From what we saw from the sculptures or pictures, there's a companion begging for mercy on the sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm. And Kira's barely listening at this point, and she seems to be off somewhere else, like she doesn't want to be in this room. On that one, we all have oaths sworn. We are gods after all. We don't control that, I'm afraid. And she kind of gives her sister a look of kind of like pity, I guess, and that does not seem to go down well with Kira as that's all going on. But she says, anyway, yes, my husband feels that he will be the same as those. Now that dragons have come back into the world, that is another area of contention right now as well, that, we may have to figure out more information on where he was getting them from. That would be another big thing to find out at some point. We seem to be on a back foot on many fronts, and I don't like that. It means the Titans are winning.
Who's Damon?
Damon was a dragon lord. He was a wizard, a very powerful one in his life.
Oh.
Now he is a lich, an undead.
An undead wizard, that's right.
Yeah.
Doesn't say much, does he?
No. And she says that's all tied up with the Oath of Peace and things that happened with the original Dragon Lords a long time ago.
When does the Oath of Peace end?
Soon. And she looks around on that one and says, we're down to matters of months.
What happens after the Oath of Peace is finished then? Did you two, the gods and the Titans, what happens between you then?
There is no stalemate anymore. That will pass. It will mean all-out war when the time comes. Sidon and Lutheria, the two Titans, have many forces under their control. They have the power, or one of them has the power over the seas, and the other has the power over death. It will be incredibly dangerous times, which makes what you're doing all the more important, as clearly the Oracle feels you are the only way forward to actually solving all of this. Eventually.
What do you think our next move should be then?
Well, the very next move is I'm going to have to sit down with my sister, and she points over to Kira. I have called for Pythor, and I have sent a message to Vulcan, and as we are going to have to decide how we're going to use some of our power to get rid of the storms that are over and above mytross. Until that problem is solved, we can't move forward.
So in the meantime, what can we do? Hang around here.
You can hang around if you need to, but really it's not going to take us more than a little while to figure out. I'm guessing I can, if my sister is in agreement and I can get Pythor here in the next few hours as he is already en route, we will be able to cast some magic that should clear the air, if that makes sense. But I need you all, and what this information must never pass out of this room, to understand that this will diminish us in doing so.
Diminish how?
Our power will diminish. We will lose power in the process of doing what we must do.
See,
This would weaken you in the long term, or?
after the Oath of Peace is gone?
This would this would weaken us in the long term. Yes, this is not something I can do. That it would be battling against Titan's magic with anything less than part of my own essence and that of my rest of my family.
Do you see
And
another
there's
way?
no other way.
Not unless we were to choose one of the other routes that were laid out inside the palace, but I'm afraid all of
No.
those seemed unpalatable, even to me.
That's what I thought. They're not exactly guaranteed to work, even if we did them.
Indeed, and that some of them had the opportunity of working, I'm sure, but not without greater cost than what this is, I believe. It's going to... I think the Titans have won this round, if that makes sense. By depowering us, they make us less useful when war comes. Therefore,
How can we become more powerful?
You need to carry on with what you're doing. You need to find the Ultros, go on your travels, find more power, find allies, bring them into your group, find armies, bring them, or ask them to come here and defend the cities when the time comes. Besiege anyone that you can find out in the Nether Seas and bring
Maybe the
them here.
Centaurs could join us.
They are not
It's worth a go.
the Centaurs are not an easy group. Their worship of Lutheria is quite strong, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And there are other groups, the Amazons. There are, and they may be contactable. As she looks around at her two companions, either side of her. Heliod, you are aware that Valis keeps her closest contingent are just female Amazons, basically. That group that are here. Michaela, the one on one side, sort of perks up a little bit and says, "Our queen is not the easiest to get along with, but." That does not mean she cannot be convinced that when the time comes, the war is imminent and can't be helped with our armies. But yeah, you would have to besiege them directly. I am no longer accepted back home. So yes, it would be good to see more of my people here working on the fight.
Any suggestions on how we can get them to join us?
Favours for the Queen is usually the way, or for the royal family. They would find it hard to ignore that. Valis looks around and says, but all of this requires you to be able to travel around the Cerulean Gulf and then further into the deeper seas. And I'm afraid that for that to be true, that will need the ship. You will need the Ultros first. No other ship will be able to pass by.
Yes. Where was it last spotted? Any ideas?
It hasn't been seen in a long time. However, I am convinced that my husband does know its location. He just would not let me know. He felt it was I'm sure, a bargaining chip worth having. But I believe once I have done what I have done here, and he sees that the heroes are in the group that have made these things happen, I believe he will have no choice but to give up what you're asking for, and give you the location of the Ultros. However, I must warn you, he is strange in his ways regarding this. He's kind of, I think he wants it to be gone. And you may be a means for that to happen. I know that things trouble him in his dreams on many occasions. And I know it is to do with that.
Could he be compromised magically?
No, I would be aware of that, I think. Kira sort of chirps up a little bit. But you have a strong connection to him. Maybe you're blinded to that. And Valis then gives Kira an incredibly stern look, like that would never happen. Kira sort of quietens back down again.
Well, Kira has a point.
I do not let my emotions get in the way of such things. I am fully aware of what my husband is. The Titans are very powerful, but I would know. He may no longer have feelings for me, but that does not make him controlled by someone else. And she sort of seems saddened by that, but it's a realization she has obviously come to with time. I will probably need a favour from you, Modius, if that is okay.
What do you ask?
Your father obviously will be coming here very shortly. And I understand his group is not far behind. I will take my sister to one side and we will discuss how we will go about achieving this miracle that we must perform to control the weather. But your father, I think, will probably listen to you more than me. And you have to convince him...
That depends on how much he's drunk.
Yeah, that is true. I do believe that is true. But if he is coming under my heed, I'm sure he will be maybe less drunk than he can be. She doesn't believe he'll be sober, but she does certainly thinks that it was not. Would you mind persuading him?
You want me to persuade him
that this is the right course of action? Yes, he will not like the idea of having to give up power. He feels scuppered as is, and that would just mean he is more hampered when the time comes. He was the god of war, after all, and being stuck in an era of peace was never easy for your father.
Well, I can only try.
Thank
He's
you.
a bit of a stubborn old bugger.
He can be. But I have faith in you. Thank you. Are there any other questions that any of you have on the situations? Anything I can explain or help with? Just now's the times to ask.
Well, you might be
Dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she
have
perks
questions
up a little
about
bit.
these dragons.
I will answer as I can.
Well, they are clearly not of natural origins, so where could they have come from?
These are very good questions. They seem unnaturally large for their, how shall I put it, their intellect. I believe that they have come from an unnatural source and have been grown magically to the size that they already are, skipping the generations of time that would give them intellect, maybe even wisdom. They are, I believe, incredibly young.
Who could do something like that? Is that something that the Titans could do or would want to do?
My feeling is yes. Although where they got the dragon eggs from, I don't know, and that concerns me. But yes, the most plausible solution would be that that someone either connected with the Titans or the Titans themselves offered these to the king, and he took them without question. He has been very close and guarded with Commander Gaius from Sidon's forces, which just concerns me, but I believe maybe they were a gift. And you guys are aware that Commander Gaius is the only other person you've ever seen so far riding a dragon. You saw his silver one back when you were in Astoria, originally when he tried to get you all tied to that post to be eaten by the basilisks.
Yes,
So yes,
I
there
remember.
There were
is
3 young dragons recently as well, weren't there?
yes, the 3
We
young
saw.
dragons are part of the retinue that have come from King Acastus' court, and then obviously you've seen the large one that seems to be called the King's Dragon, Icarus. So yes, this all seems to be interlinked, and probably from the way Valis is talking, that these are all sort of interlinked and come from probably the same source. But I do believe that figuring out where they came from and why will be key in the long run. We need to know if there are more out there, and whether or not we can acquire that source. Dragon eggs are very powerful items in themselves, let alone when they turn into dragons that can be bonded with a dragonlord.
So how long's the king had the dragons for then?
About 3 months.
And were they smaller? Were they younger when he got them, or were they already seemingly fully grown?
They were large when we first saw them, but they are larger still now. So I do believe that whatever's being used on them is still being used on them. Clearly, some magical power is in use to do it, whether or not it's an elixir or a magical item of some description. But something has been used to accelerate their growth dramatically.
If there are these dragons, then surely there's a keeper of sorts, a tamer.
Possibly. I'm more concerned that there's a mother out there, which would be.
Well, yes.
Who could the mother be?
That is a good question. We've not seen a dragon in these parts for 500 years. None of it makes a lot of sense at this point. Maybe on one of the outer islands.
Released a dragon?
He may have done. But I would have thought that they have the largest disdain. Well, they never liked the original dragonlords, so keeping dragon, it doesn't add up. It's like I said, I feel like we're a few steps behind, and I have felt that way for the last 3 months since they arrived. I don't know what the Titans are up to, but clearly they have their plans of further emotion than we realised, and we're running out of time faster than I thought. You can see she's probably been thinking a lot of this over on her own for quite a while now. But and it's not. She seems to be like having to express it now is actually probably a good thing to try and figure out what's needed. But I think the answers aren't going to be found here. I think we'll have to trust that the answers are out in the islands somewhere, or maybe at Praxis itself. I don't know, but those answers will be found, I'm sure, if we can get off the islands and actually take the fight towards them. And that requires the Ultros, and that requires us to do this bit.
Are there any particular items that you think we should have made in the forge that would help us?
I believe anything that will improve survivability will always be of use. But if you can find any ways of finding items that can injure or hurt Titans, I would suggest that you start to have them made or found if you can. Eventually you will have to face them, and they will be gods that you will have to fight at some point.
Do you know of any weapons or items that can hurt Titans?
I know there are some vaults out in the seas that maybe contain such items, but most of that is myth. But I will be able to do some research here and see what I can dig up with time. I will set my best people on that and see what we can work out from myth to reality is true. There were many things during the last war that were made that were painful to Titans and to us. It works both ways. But yes, we will we will work out how to track them down, or at least the parts for them if we have to. Anything now. Now you have the forge up and running with my father. You have options. It's the strangest family. Yeah, It's the strangest family you've ever seen in your life. Obviously, you've still got Vulcan the dwarf, these two beautiful females, and then your father that can or can't be a minotaur whenever he wants. It's a funny group. Sorry, Colt, your last comment, Modius, something about financial?
Yeah, if there was any kind of, because some of the items are quite expensive, whether there was any either trying to help get the ingredients, if they have any of the ingredients, or the finances to help some of the more expensive ones that could actually turn the tide whilst fighting a titan.
Absolutely.
Like the golden apple.
The money is not a problem. Finding actual materials is a lot harder, but doesn't mean it's impossible with time.
Well,
we can start doing that.
Yeah, there's things like the Cerberus hide we can use for the cloak of magic immunity, which I think I'm going to put on my granddad's list, because that will be quite cool to wear. Can barbarians wear that?
Absolutely.
Who's best to wear a cloak of magic immunity?
I can't imagine that would not be useful against any of the Titans. They will have great magics. Thunder and lightning is probably the least of your worries in that respect. But yes, magic immunity would be a very powerful tool to have. Cerberuses are very rare. The fact that you've already fought one is quite the thing. That also suggests that Lutheria or Sidon were aiming to stop you retaking the forge. That thing had been down there for a long time. Yes, the thing had been down there a very long time, and that's a will and within wills that they managed to put in place decades before this. So again, it shows that they've been thinking about this for a very long time in ways we haven't even thought about. The other side of the coin is if we can get hold of the Ultros, we may have to do some recon missions to figure out just the exact size of their forces, or at least what their plans are. The other side of things is finance-wise, we have some choices as well. I'm starting to move money within the coffers within the city towards working on secretly preparing the defenses of the city, building extra trebuchets, training more men, these sort of things. It's not easy to pull off under my husband's nose, but I have started that process, and I will continue with it. These are things we'll have to decide in time, whether we spend all the money on items or do we spend it on the city's defenses as well. I will obviously take counsel from you all as and when the time comes, but know that there is funds available for these endeavors, and we will make things work whatever way we need to.
We appreciate your help.
And
I don't know, do you know where there's an orb of star metal by any chance?
She says, I do know a little about that. I believe there was a kraken in the Nether Seas that once either swallowed or protects one.
Might be one of the journeys we can take.
Yes, the kraken. We heard about that.
They are very dangerous foes. Do not underestimate that. But you need to grow in power. You are already gaining in strength. The more your travels go, the more you endeavour to do in these next few months, the more powerful you will become. You can restart the dragonlords if you so wish, as she sort of looks towards Silas. That would go down badly with my husband, but I think your take on dragonlords will be far better than his understanding.
Restart the dragonlords.
If you can find dragon eggs, they must be out there somewhere. If they're being passed to my husband, it would be doable. It would be possible.
Well, anyway, lots of ingredients we need to make stuff. So,
I will endeavour to find out any knowledge I can on the list. My father has already spoken about some things and asked for me to do some research, but with time I will be able to find more information, and maybe when you have the Ultros in hand, maybe point you in the right directions of where you may go to find items that you need for that sort of thing. I'm sure it will be doable. And
I guess the next question
Mm-hmm.
is, where do we get started?
Vala says, well, I think step one's, and it's actually at this point that Pythor wanders into the room on that one, and he says,
Bad. Hello, Pops.
my boy, how you doing? You looking good?
Yeah. Thanks. So you too.
Yeah. Well, I've been trekking for the last 14 hours to get here. I'm clearly... my sister has come up with some sort of a strange plan that I need to be involved in. How are you guys doing? Yes. And he sort of looks around at you all, gives you all a good smile, and it seems to be his usual self as all this is going on. And Valis sort of says, if you don't mind, Pythor, yes, we do have some things that Modius would like to talk to you about as they're sort of pushing you forward. Modius is as this is going on. Kira comes up behind you and he starts pushing you into the room. As this is all going on, Valis will then sort of take Kira off to one side, and they'll start discussing things that is going on. All right, so what's this all about? Anyone going to fill me in?
Well, the thing is, when I walked in this city, I got hit by lightning, right?
What? He looks at your fur and he says, "Oh, was it the Stormlord himself did it, or were you were you under a tree when the lightning hit?"
No, Stormlord. It's a backside and I'll call him now. He decided to give me a little singe on me bum fluff. So we came in and met the king and the lovely lady, and we had a few solutions to try and stop him from...
Yeah, the weather's bloody terrible out there, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest,
Look at my hair.
Happy with us.
He's
the
just
king was not very happy with us. He seemed to sort of try and point the blame in our direction with all the good things we've been doing lately. He seems to want to shift the crowd towards hate on us. So we managed to come to a bit of an impasse of, I guess, solutions that some not so great, some could happen, but probably wouldn't have worked, like slaughtering 1,000 cows. Or
why the hell would you want to slaughter 1,000 cows?
I know, don't. Honestly.
To make 1,000 burgers? I don't know.
Well, a lot. That's a big burger. That's a
lot of burgers, but I've never known him want to eat. But anyway.
So and then there was a sacrifices a load of virgins, which between me and you, I think is a bit of a waste.
Seems a bit off.
Yeah, and what was the other one, Cal?
Destroying the
Temple of the Five. Yeah,
that's right. Yes. And some of the folks just wouldn't like that. So we went with another. Yeah,
I might get a little pissed about that. Just to let you know, that's the place I come back from if I die.
That's exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Well, the other solution was that, and it seemed like the best solution, was that we combine your powers, combined with your sisters and grandpappies, and we put a stop to the lightning and the destruction of the area.
Oh my!
And my bum fluff. I probably couldn't take too many more of those, I must say.
No, fair enough.
I am working on a cloak of magical immunity, which might help a little bit.
You got my blood running in your veins. Eventually, kid, you'll be a god. And he sort of laughs at that one.
I look forward to it.
But he says...
Just don't forget about the little people, okay?
So what do you think, perhaps?
I think... Yeah, I think the time... She is, but I also understand that it means that we're taking a sacrifice now. We're taking a hit, and we won't be as full powered when the time comes that we'll probably be the most used to you. I was the god of war, you see. I can be pretty strong when I want to be, but I won't be as strong if this happens.
Do you have any other solutions?
He looks around for a little bit. He thinks for a few seconds. Modius, you're looking at his face, and you can see it's completely blank. He has no thoughts in his head about any real things, and he goes, "No, I guess not. I don't have anything better."
I've got a sip of whiskey.
But it seems like why not just let the city stay as it is? I mean, it's under siege, but maybe that it's only maybe for a few months. Maybe we leave it like that. And you can see Kira and Valis are giving him a look from across the room as he's sort of saying that. I can feel their eyes burning into me back, Modius. I can feel it.
The thing is, if you let him do that, then what city's next? Your city?
Yeah, I know. You can make a persuasion check, Modius, but you can do it with advantage here as this is all going on.
When he comes for your city and you ask for your sister's help, then they might not be so, helpful.
I know.
It's persuasion, is it?
Yeah, it should be on your sheet. Have a quick look. There we go. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so 16 on that one. So yeah, he goes, "No, I know you're right. It's frustrating. I was finally going to get back to the point where I would be of some use, but I'm not going to be as powerful as I was. Oh well. Yeah.
The oracles put us on a steady path.
Yeah.
We need everyone's help to try and make us as mighty as you can.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that you guys are the new generation. We were the old one. Maybe it's going to be your fight more than it's going to be mine. If the oracle's to be believed anyway. We did all right for our time, but you guys will have to do better than us. You will. He sort of gives you a pat on the shoulder as he does. On that
you
one.
know the Titans and the gods more than anyone, so help us defeat them.
I'll do everything in my power, and especially when I'm freed of this bloody oath. I'll do everything I can.
Yes.
It's been hard, these 500 years, not being able to do what you're best at.
Well, Vulcan's got your hammer, and he's fixing stuff up for us. So he's made a good start. It should be here any time soon, actually. Any moment soon, really.
Yeah. We'll work on it all together. I'll be here. I'll be around when you need me. When the time comes.
If you can think of anything that might be of use to us as an instrument to wear or to play or to fight
Titan's
with.
Bane. Anything with Titan's Bane on it, kid. You'll be looking at that for when the time comes. But I'll point you in the right direction, I promise.
All right. Cool. Oh, and if you hear about a ship called Ultros, point us in the right direction.
I do remember that ship. Arklander's ship, that was. You know, he caused a lot of pain to make that thing, but if it's the only ship that'll do the job, I guess. He killed a dryad to make it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. Her soul lives within it.
To make stuff.
Did you just say the soul is still in it?
Dryad spirits don't die. They just live on in the wood of the thing you make them out into. Yeah, she's still in that ship, all right. Somewhere. And it always made me uncomfortable whenever I saw that damn thing. But it was a weapon that worked at the time, and I guess it's going to be a weapon that's going to work again. It's powerful enough to sail the seas, regardless of what Sidon wants.
Well, I think you've got a good team here to try and do this.
You're the right team. Now, you excuse me for a moment. I'll go and speak with my sisters, and we'll figure this magic out that's got to be done.
Right.
And yeah, so we have a kind of a sort of a montage scene that will go on for a little bit here. There's back and forth discussion of what needs to happen to sort of make all of this happen and whatnot. And the answer that everybody comes up with is that they'll have to go to the Temple of the Five Gods and pray together and actually make the magic occur. So we sort of have a montage scene that happens of you all guys all traveling to the Temple of the Five Gods, There are the statues within of all of the each of the gods have their own statue, if that makes sense. And there's like you can only describe it as a sort of a memorial tomb in front of each of the these statues that you can see. And yeah, it's supposed to be that they resurrect on these platforms whenever anything bad happens to them. They will spend a few hours doing this. Heliod, this is home to you, so this is like actually literally being back in the old homestead. But yeah, seeing them weave the magic in this terrible weather is something to behold as this is all going on. But yeah, basically over the next couple of hours of basically having to wait around as different chants are done and different bits of magic are assembled, you watch eventually all three of them start to glow incredibly brightly, and then after a few moments later, a lightning bolt shoots into the air above the temple as this is all going on. You watch as all three of them collapse to the ground directly in front of you all as this goes on, and they've appeared to pass out as this is all going on. Do you go check on them?
I'll go and check on you. Check on
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll check on the others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem asleep as but breathing when this first does happen on that one. And yeah, maybe it takes a few slaps to sort of start bringing your dad round. Modius is probably the best way of putting it, but they eventually do come round, and he does sort of say, "Oh, that was a doozy. That was more tiring than I expected."
They look pretty tiring.
Yeah, he says, "Oh,
Rest up. Have a drink."
Yeah, I will. I'll have some mead as well with that. Anyway, I'll be fine with a bit of time, but
Did it go all right?
I think so. I think my sister directed it the way I'm kind of more like the battery than anything else. I think it's happened.
Drained.
I feel it. And yeah, so basically you guys, by the time you guys start to actually make your way out into the outskirts of the temple, you can already see the skies are clearing above the city as this is all going on. On that one, Valus says, I believe we should rest here, but if you guys wish to make your way back to the palace and try and see my husband, I think now he will be more receptive of taking you under counsel. It's clearly the spell is working. I thank you all for your time.
Yes,
they
well
all three of them do look really tired right now. I will have to stress this as this is all going on. But yeah, you do think that they are okay. They are just tired from what's going on. But yeah, as the next couple of hours pass, as you guys make your way back to the palace, as all this is kind of going on, you can see light breaking down through the clouds, spilling down onto the marble pediments and the wet paving stones of the city. Slowly but surely, the citizens begin to emerge from their homes, and before long, the bustle of everyday life in Mytross is beginning to resume. Every so often, guys, you're getting this. People are looking at you guys and clocking you as and there's mutterings of heroes of the Oracle or heroes of the Heartlands, things like that are going on. You're getting recognised when you're moving around the city and making your way back towards the palace as all this is kind of going on. We cut to a maybe half an hour later when you guys are actually back inside the palace. And you are definitely awarded another meeting with the king. He has a look on his face like I'm guessing slightly smug, maybe slightly concerned. His court mistress is by his side as before. You've seen her before. Crondus, the member of Luceria's temple, is also here along with Commander Gaius. As before, as this is going on, But yeah, he looks over at you all and sort of yells down from his pedestal, well, excellent work. I knew I could trust my wife and the heroes of the Heartlands to handle this matter. Clearly, it was the right choice. Trying to take credit for this in some way as this is all going on. So what are your next plans? Heroes of the Heartlands.
Now, our next plans are to look at trying to find this vessel.
Ah, yes, the ship, the Ultros. My family had that built. Esther Arklander, the Dragonlord, was a hero, a great man. And yes, maybe it is time for the Ultros to return. I am aware of its location. And maybe it's time that I pass that information off to someone to go return it back into its duty. And you can see he's got
great help to the cause.
He has got an incredibly smug look on his face as he starts to pull out a sort of a scroll from one arm. It has a bunch of parchment in it, as far as you can see. He says, holding it up aloud, "This map will lead you to the last known whereabouts of the Ultros. It was my ancestor's ship, and Estelar Clander made the best he could. But now I have known where it is located, and it is time for you to bring it back. You should also know that I am rebuilding the ancient order of the dragonlords. In time, I will have a legion of dragon-mounted warriors under my command. Then there will be no more need for heroes of oracles. We shall drive back the titans with the power of dragons, just as our forefathers did."
Would these be baby dragons, or would they be fully grown dragons?
Fully grown dragons you clearly can see in front of you. As he sort of looks, as you can see, Icarus is behind him.
Oh, what, that dragon back there? That looks maybe 4 or 5 months old to me.
You get a snigger from the crowds as this is going on. The creature behind you, Cal, lets out a low sort of grumble roar as it sort of moves its head round towards you as that as this is going on. As this is going on, he says, "Clearly, sir, you have no idea about dragons. None
I have
whatsoever.
more idea than you can imagine."
Really? He's looking at you inquisitively as you say that.
I'm going to glance up at this. Is it Gaius at the back? What's his name?
Yeah, Commander
General
Gaius. He is at the back currently, but yeah, he was the one that was riding Argon, the silver dragon you saw last time in Astoria. Yeah, you can glance up at him. Yeah, absolutely. He's watching on at all of this. Are you trying to get an insight from him? Is that what you're trying to work out?
I'm just trying to figure out if he's keeping his eyes on where that map is at the minute in the king's hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Honestly, yeah, make a perception check. Let's see what you're picking up of what's going on with him, or an insight, either or. Okay, 20. Yeah, you're picking up. He is incredibly disinterested in the map. Anything on that front. However, he's extremely interested in your conversation about dragons and age. He's definitely picking all of that up. He's certainly. He doesn't seem concerned by what you're saying, and you also get the feeling, Cal, with a perception 20 over 20. The fact that he didn't react to it at all makes you think he knew.
Yeah. Okay.
In any case, the king says, "This map here will allow you to carry on with your so-called great labors. I thank you for your for your service to my city. But you are dismissed." And he starts to step down as if he's disinterested in this conversation. Yeah, you think, Cal, you may have hit a nerve.
I'm gonna bow my head and then make my way back.
They start walking off to one side as this is all going on. But yeah, as you
Did he
sort
give
of
us a scroll?
he absolutely has given the scroll over. Yes, sorry, no, he doesn't give it over. He literally left it there when he went. He wasn't even that that.
I'll pick it up with mage hand, bring it over.
Absolutely, no problem at all. No problem at all. Yeah, you take a quick look at the actual map that you're given. It definitely sort of shows having to leave the city, making your way out on that one. But bear with me. Let me get to the next section here. There's a lot of mytross, a lot of flavor text in mytross. Almost there. Yes, so yeah, the map is showing Cal some directions to a place called the Dead Falls. It's somewhere in between Mytros and Astoria. It'll take about 2 days to make your way through the forests towards that general location. Not a hell of a lot of information on this map, barring showing some sort of a cave at the location where that seems to be marked on the map, as far as you can see. All that effort for an X on a X on a small map, if that makes sense. However, the parchment is incredibly old, from what you can see. It's not in the best of ways. It certainly looks like it has been well travelled, well used, and aged. Would be the best way of putting it.
It could be old information.
Possibly true.
That's all we've got to go on now, I guess, at the minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I guess we need to get ourselves sorted and head out.
Yep. Fair enough. No problem.
Is it possible I can give my granddad, the Vulcan, the Cerberus hide, take back with it? Because wasn't he coming as well?
No, he was literally he was communicating with them over over magic, but he didn't come. He didn't make his way here. He worked from the forge. But you know, Modius, that there are things you can do, which are send a courier from here to back to the Mithril Forge. That's definitely doable. You can easily get the Queen or your father to get that sent off. That won't be a problem to pull off.
Because there may have been other things as well. Because we look in that list, and we took down the hag as well, didn't we? You
have taken one hag down. That was very early in the campaign with an oracle, when the oracle was in danger.
So there's things like Nightmare Skull, Night Hag, Dreamcatcher.
Right, yeah. You haven't got any of those items, if that makes sense, as far as you're aware.
No, it's just if we have a Night Hag hair or a Night Hag skull, we can make things as well. I was just looking through the list of things we've managed to acquire, and I'll definitely send the Cerberus hide on. I assume, would there have been a Cerberus heart as well as a hide, or would just
there could have been, but at the time, you weren't aware of what the list of possible items was, so you wouldn't have picked the heart. If that makes sense.
I got the hide then.
Exactly, but it was kind of one of those nice, luck of an idea, but it works out. I won't knock it from that point.
Didn't I as well? I remember rolling.
Yeah, you had to roll to be able to. You have to roll very well to skin it and do it in a reasonable way, which is what you did do, which was nice. So it's all it's a fortunate thing on that front as that's all going on.
I'll send in the Cerberus hide then, because I think the Cloak of Magic Immunity might do me or at least someone some good, especially if we're going to get hit by electric bolts of lightning or whatever. I'm not sure if that's classed as magic, but
there's certainly good possibilities on that front. So it certainly will be one of the things we can definitely say is that that's instructed to go off. I think with what you're also saying there and knowing the list, maybe another thing that might occur to one of you, who's got the highest intelligence of the bunch of you.
16.
My wisdom's good. My intelligence
Okay,
sucks.
Cal. Yeah, if you can give me an intelligence check for me. Let's see what comes to mind. It's either really good or really bad. Yeah. No, that's okay. No, nothing comes to mind on that front. In that moment, not quite a thing as that's all kind of going on. But yes, so you guys make your way out, and you're obviously still in the palace sort of area, trying to work through what you were going to do. Kira has sort of pulled herself together a bit more, and as sort of starts saying about wanting to come with you guys if you're willing to take her anyway, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
She would like to carry on traveling with you guys if that's possible. That's definitely on her.
How is she looking? Wood? Is she? Does she look like she's recovered?
She looks like she's recovered, but she looks. Yeah, you can tell that something's happened. She's definitely diminished in some ways, if that makes sense. But she seems sprightly, still bright about a lot of things as this is all going on. Yeah, it's still got endless sandwiches in the bag whenever you want them. Seems to be the way of things. She just says, "I feel a bit slower now and a bit sluggish, but I'm okay." On that front is from what she's kind of saying as things are going on. The other thing that happens when you're on the edge of the palace, Modius, with the bad weather, you couldn't see it before. But for the first time now, you can see over the port area that's like on the distance from the palace. You can actually see the Colossus, which is the giant statue of your father that protects the city. It's one of these things that when the king calls for it, the Colossus is the Colossus of Pythor actually protects the city. But yeah, you can see your father in his prime form rather than his now form, if that makes sense. On that front, but yeah, it's a giant towering thing that sort of looks out over the city. On a watchful protection at all times, if that makes sense. But it's nice to actually see that sight for once, rather than what you had before.
We walked into.
Yeah. Kira is sort of says, I obviously I want to come with you guys, but I have to warn you, if Esther is still around, he's like my oath sworn, right? You've seen that much at least. I'm afraid I might not be much use against him, if that makes sense. And that might be something I'll have to deal with if it comes to that. But I need to see this through. And she seems determined, but you can tell that there's worry with whatever's going on with this situation that she's talking about.
We've got your back. Don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah, I helped set you on this course. I'm going to see it through, but that one will be harder. Seeing that ship, and if there's anything left of him, that will be hard work. You think she's putting it mildly. Would be the best way of putting it.
Right.
But that's problems for later. We'll deal with that when we get there. Shall we hit the road? Is there any supplies or anything that we need before we head off? We are in the biggest city in the world.
Potions?
That would be a really good idea if we got some.
I think we should stock up
at
on
least. Can we put it on Valis's bill?
100%. I will remind. I will just. Yeah, that's okay. I will remind you. I will keep tabs on this. But when you ask for items and monetary expense, I will bear that in mind. How much you drain the coffers now compared to what you need later. So I'm just warning you. There are checks and balances to what's about to go down. She can get you at least 2 each as a start point.
Oh, it's a good start. Yeah, that's fine. So we add it to our list then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You'll all be leaving here with two more on that one. Is there any other items? No, they are. There's a middle one. It might be greater actually. There was this 4 levels. Let me just double check for you. 1 second. Let me just double check. Healing. Potion of normal. It is the greater healing potion. Yes, sorry, that's the second one. Yeah, you've got superior and supreme above that, but yeah, it's greater healing potions are the one that's you can get from her at this point.
No, that's got equipment. Is it equipment or backpack? Equipment, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. I'll put the items in there for you. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Do they go straight in our thingy?
Yeah, I can put them directly into your bits. Yeah.
Beyond.
Yeah. No, not into your D&D Beyond. It'll be in Foundry, but it's because it's just it's a thing that you spend, so it's not so not so much of a worry, if that makes sense on that one. But yeah, no worries.
Speaking of which, do we? Because I got a load of gear off of that Minotaur cave. Do I sell that then, or a load of axes and?
Yes, I think I've basically been I've been converting some of that straight to cash anyway, so that there's some of those things are around. So yeah, there is a little list. I'll dig it back out again, but nice. I've kept tabs on most of that, which is good. And luckily we have the videos just in case. So there's always options.
We can go back in time.
We can go back in time and get the honest truth out of it. So that's not too bad. But is there any items or other bits that you would want to be trying to get hold of in the city? I mean, anything non-magical is easy enough to probably be able to get here if you want it.
Poison thingy antidote. Maybe we've got some already. Actually, in my backpack, there's. You do have some.
You have some antitoxin, I think, somewhere on that front.
Is that the same as like a poison antidote, like an undead antidote?
No, there's not an undead antidote, as far as I'm aware. Antitoxin is the one is one that will definitely help against poison. So it's one you can drink to try and clear a poison effect. Things like that. So it's useful.
Just wondering whether anything else we're likely to come across that we might need something for. What do you think, guys?
Or any weapons or armor that you're missing that you want? Anything like that?
As barbarian can't have anything. Really?
Not armor wise, no. But if there is if there's any weapons or items that you need,
I've got arrows already. I bought a longbow. I was just looking to see if there's any special arrows I can get made, but can't find them.
You can. There are some ones that can be crafted. I can get them figured out, and with time, like you can have fire arrows and a few other things as well.
Yeah,
but I've got to set up a few recipes for some of this stuff. I've just got a new thing that allows me to do some of that, so I'm going to set up some recipes for crafting some of that, along with what's going on in the forge as well. So I will certainly add to that in the next weeks.
Oil or poison or
oil is easy enough to pick up. There's plenty of oil. You can have flasks of oil if you want it. It basically takes a bit of time to use them because you'd have to throw them on a thing and then you could light them, or it could be use them to make an area slippery. There's many a use for oil, if that makes sense. So it's definitely doable.
I'll grab a flask or two of oil then.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that straight on your sheet. That'll be no problem.
Any poison at all? I've still got a javelin that's been
dipped. Yeah, you definitely did. Yeah,
in the Cerberus thingy.
Poison. Let's have a look in here.
Is there anything else? I think we don't need water.
I can't think of anything.
No.
I mean, I'm going to say.
Has anyone heard Jew yet, by the way?
Not for quite a while. Hello. He's still here. He's just been in the background listening in, I'm guessing.
I had to do something quickly. I had to.
That's
quick
okay.
job, but I'm sort of half keeping up.
Not a problem, matey. Not a problem. It's okay. Yeah, well, it's more story based this week to get you out on the go as this is all going on. But yes, so I'm going to just say, any sorts of those sort of standard supplies. If you suddenly retroactively remember, that would be useful. Remind me, and we'll put that into play to make it easier. If that makes sense, you would have been able to prep yourself. This is the point where you would be prepping yourselves up, if that makes sense, to make it work on that front.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's mostly the items that Vulcan can make.
Yes, that will definitely that will be definitely be coming with time. The next one's in a couple of days, and then you'll have to have a few more days of building the next things after that. But
I was going to say, on the way to the place we're going now, is that near the mines, or is it a different direction?
So you're heading in the right direction. So if you look on the map here, the mines are actually up in this sort of area up here. You're actually ending up over here, I believe. It's over on this side of things. So you're going in the general direction. But I think what happens is that the courier, because it's a 2-day trip out, I believe it's the courier that sets off with you guys, and somewhere around here after the second day, splits off to go towards Astoria and the and the Mithril Forge, if that makes sense. So you send your courier off after those facts, if that makes sense. Yeah. And you guys carrying on towards the Dead Falls, if that makes on that one.
Cool.
So you guys make your way along towards these sort of river rapids that come up from this space as the further you go. But you eventually make your way to what is marked on the maps as the Dead Falls. It's a rapid twist and turn as you approach what appears to be a massive waterfall coming up ahead. The water of the river pours into a vast, shadowy chasm that vanishes from sight. It's a beautiful looking sight, but it is disconcerting to have such a large river of water go over these giant falls that you're looking at. The sound of thundering coming from this river is horrendous. This is actually going on. There's no sign of a cave mouth anywhere as you're looking at this giant waterfall.
That's a bit cliche, but checking in the waterfall, like a
absolutely. You realise fairly swiftly what the answer is. But as you guys, one of you sort of pushes your head through the force of the water, there is a very dark, long cave on the other side of this. Falls, if that makes sense, going deep into the rock. So you guys start to press in. I think you guys start to press in. Yeah, absolutely. Taking your time, slowly making your way into the space. It gets very, very dark for a while. You guys have to light up a few torches or get some magic light and to carry on moving a bit deeper into the space for a while. However, eventually you do start to see light up ahead, not too far further forward. It certainly looks like bluish light coming up from ahead, and you can now see a lake of water is starting to appear in front of you guys, and not too far off in the distance, you do actually eventually catch sight of the Ultros, a very large.
That's
beautiful,
the one for my dreams.
Yeah, a very beautiful looking ship sitting out in the middle of a lake with I can only describe it as like a space above it, where a hole in the cave roof where the light is pouring into the space. Eerily quiet as all this is going on. There is a small boat tethered off to one side, and it's big enough to get you all in. Kira is looking at it and sort of taking it in, and she sort of says, "It's as I remember it. It doesn't look a day older than I remember it." And she's sort of like, looking uncomfortable, looking at this ship, if that makes sense. From you guys' point of view, it looks old, but only old in style. The look of the thing is, unnaturally new looking would be the best way of putting it. Pristine would be a very good way of putting it. Yeah.
Does it have that kind of soul thing presence about it that Pythor was talking about?
Not that you can see as this is going on, unless anyone's casting anything to make that happen on that front.
Can anyone see magic at all as a boat? Or maybe there's
anyone
something
got anything
around?
to detect magic, or
I'm guessing
spell?
like Cal would probably be aware of a bit of a weird feeling around it, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you definitely get an odd thing like that. That's true. Go ahead, Andy.
I do have a detect magic spell actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you cast the spell. Remember to knock off the spell slot on that front. The thing in front of you is brightly going green when you do that.
So it is magical.
Yeah, the ship is just an aura of magic as that's all going on.
It's doesn't close up in the water. No shield or anything around it. It's like it's
not that you can see. Not that you can see. Nothing like that's coming up. The only thing that Heliod is getting over and above that is that there is a strange green light that seems to be coming from the deck of the ship. Obviously the glow of the ship in general just is intensely magical, like the most powerful magic you've seen.
The presence of something on the ship then as well.
Yeah, I think somebody's there.
From my vision, there were the undead.
Yes, I think it would be them.
Kira is like, okay.
Kira, have you seen this ship before? Have you been on it?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but yes, I have been on it before.
He
was my oathsworn.
Of course. My apologies.
Yes.
I don't like it. I never did.
No, I can understand why.
Too many oars. Hey, Silas, have you been on a boat?
Silas, he would have vague memories of being on this boat. Yeah, he would have vague memories of being around this thing on the deck of that ship. There'll be like memories hitting him. I'll cover him for that.
Modi, will you sit still if we get in this thing?
Oh, maybe. I'll get a bit seasick, but as long as you close my eyes. How do we get up anyway?
Well, I'm guessing there's a ladder here somewhere.
Yeah, looking around at there as you start to get on the little boat and make your way out, you realise that there are probably small little rope ladders at the front, towards the front of the ship, and one towards the rear of the ship. You think either or would probably allow you to get access to the main deck if you needed to.
They both go to the main deck.
They both seem to go up to the main deck, if that makes sense. Yeah, as a start point. So, where do you think you come in from the front or from the rear of the ship?
The rear.
What?
Okay, no worries.
I think. No. Modi,
where is if there's undead? Where is the most kind of like cabin area?
Actually, it's strange you should say that because the captain was at the front of the ship in my vision. So
that's up to you guys. Yeah, honestly, no sign of anything, no sign of any undead or anything on like that at the moment. But yeah, the choice is literally yours. Front or back of the ship is you can sail to either of them on this little boat, no problem.
Let's go to the back.
Yep.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, you guys make it to the rear of the ship, and there is a rope ladder there. I'm assuming you slowly but surely start pulling yourselves up onto the top deck. That's no problem. I'll bring you through to the map in a second. There is a very large, what looks like some sort of large trebuchet as you actually make your way onto the deck. Eerily silent as you do start making your way. No, fair enough. No, on that one. Right, let's bring you through to the map. Hopefully that'll load in a moment. Okie dokie. So yes, you are brought through to this, and you start to see what's going on the actual deck here. Eerily quiet. There is a strange green light emanating everywhere around you as this is all going on. Almost like the place is literally abandoned as far as you can see. The only thing you get is a sort of you get a strange sort of sense of whispering or like a sort of going on every so often as you're moving around on the top of the deck here.
Oh my, Heliod, might need some of your holy blessings, my friend. Can I turn these crossbow bolts? Do they go turn inwards towards the deck?
You realise pretty quickly, Modius, that will swivel wherever you would want it, wherever you would want to swivel out.
Loaded?
Appear to be yes, is the answer.
Okay.
Yes, I bless you, brothers. I bless you all.
You know that only lasts for a minute.
Do you want to wait until it kicks off, mate?
Or does Heliod do it?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Can I add the spell slot back, and I'll cast that again in a little bit.
Yeah, you're aware that it's one of those things that you do. That's fine on that one.
Yeah, we learn more about it, don't we? Have a look.
No worries. Well. So yeah, you see the very last. For you, Cal, this is uncanny. You were standing about here on the deck, looking towards the front. There was vast hordes of treasure across the front of the boat, and a ghostly figure was there talking to you last time you were here in your dreams. But it's utterly uncanny. It's exactly as you saw in your dreams. Just no treasure and no guy, as far as you can see. Just utterly quiet is the only odd thing.
What is this here? Is that a telescope or something? Yeah,
it appears to be some sort of a spyglass, Cal, on the deck here. So, yeah, you look through it, and it's like, yeah, you can see a vast distance. Quite a heavy piece of kit, but obviously it's made to be able to look vast distances.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, eerily quiet as you're looking around at all of this.
Modi.
Yeah, right.
I dare you to sit in the seat.
What seat? This seat.
Yeah, there's definitely a large captain's chair at the back of the ship.
Well, Cal, if I get stuck,
I'll give you a.
Are going to be
I'll give you a
barbarian-less.
Oh.
What do you reckon?
Silas, I dare you to sit in the seat.
I think I'll pass on that one.
Silas, unlike the rest of you, gets an uncomfortable feeling from just even looking at the chair.
Is it undead?
I don't
know.
No, I don't know on that one.
Can we prod it with something? Maybe it's that bloody mimic again.
I'm going to say you definitely prod it with your axe or something, Modius, and it appears to be a chair when you do it.
Oh, is this these stairs seem to lead down into looks like there might be a chamber below us.
Yeah, the stairs lead down to this sort of platform level, and then there looks to be another set of stairs in the middle that will seem to lead down to another floor below you, as far as you can tell.
Let's make sure this thing's...
Yeah. Formation, guys.
Okay.
Do we even have a formation?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it means, really.
So you're going down the stairs, or are you checking out anything on this deck?
Down the stairs and then peering down into the lower.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to peer down, are you?
Yeah, you can see. You can see. What I'll give you is that you can see that there's another deck on the below. Same strange green eerie light coming from there, and I'll say you can just about see there are a couple of doors down there leading out into the space, as far as I can see. No person or anything like that right now, but
so nobody across that entire deck. Can I sort of?
You can only see, so the stairs you're looking at only look back, they go back and down into the floor. You're not seeing the whole deck below you. You're only seeing a small room directly in front of you, underneath. So you haven't got sight of a whole deck, if that makes sense.
Modi, if I get eaten by ghosts, then
why don't you go down one steps and I'll go down the other steps?
What's going on, Modi? Yeah,
just...
these two outer ones are coming down from this upper deck that you were on, then it goes down. Yeah, that's it. You understand. It's just because you don't understand that you can't see the height. So just got to keep you filled in on what's.
Hello, I've got my act ready.
So who's going down first? Modius, you're going first, are you?
Oh well, barbarian. Yeah, might as well.
Okay, no problem. I'll bring you and Cal over first. And Heliod and Silas can join you in a moment. But yeah, you can see 2 doors directly in front of you. And more doors behind you as all this is going on. Not Mordor. My God. You know things have gone wrong. Fair enough. You make your way down fairly quietly, Cal. As you do sort of look round, Cal, you start to see there are figures sitting at the oars on the main deck behind you as you start moving around the corner.
Modi, we have company.
I'll bring Heliod down as well. One sec.
Someone's got to power this beast, isn't it, I guess? I guess they must be, because without this lot, I'm not bloody driving it.
But yeah, it seems to be these strange, undead figures, Cal, seem to be sitting at the oars, as far as you can tell.
Have they seen us?
At the moment, the ones that you're looking at are staring directly at you, Cal, as far as you can tell. Nothing happens.
Can we just ask where the captain is?
Hi. Where is the captain?
You're stepping out into the room, Cal, or?
I'll do one little step.
Okay, fair enough. There must be 50 to 100 figures sitting at the oars as you do. All their eyes turn towards you.
But Modi, there's someone at the back.
There does appear to be a different figure, not sitting at the oars at the far end of the deck as you're looking at it.
Are they spectral figures, really?
Yeah, they look like ghostly figures sitting in sort of half clothed sailor outfits, but sitting at the oars as far as you can tell.
They're corporeal still, so they're still they're not sort of like
they look awfully ghostly rather than corporeal, as far as you can tell.
I see. Okay.
Right, keep your eye on them. I'm going to open this door here.
No worries. Yeah, you open the door. It looks like some sailing hammocks and a bunch of bits further off, as far as you can see. There appears to be a... Oh, you've shut the door on yourself. You wouldn't have done that. But yeah, sorry, yeah. There appears to be an access hatch to a floor below. It seems to be shut at the moment, if that makes sense. Not as it's shown on the map.
But where would the captain's quarters be? Wouldn't it be the other? Oh, no.
It's at the other end.
Can we go back up and trot along the top?
Storage down there? Must be storage, right?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
What, rum and fish, maybe.
Modi, I'm lifting the latch.
Fair enough. Yeah, it seems to be pretty well shut, Cal, when you try it.
Was it more like?
It's locked, I think. It's not moving.
Can I give you a pull?
Heliod, this place gives you the heebie-jeebies, like anything you wouldn't believe. There are scores and scores of undead in this space, as far as you can tell right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most unpleasant place you've ever been from that point of view.
Hello there. You at the end.
Nothing seems to happen as all the eyes are still staring at you.
To the other end.
Yeah, let's go back up the top.
Let's go to the other end and try and address this.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Why don't get up?
Yeah, you can go back up. Yeah, you go back up onto the main deck.
We'll walk across the main deck, I think, and then fine.
No problem.
Yeah, across the main deck, which I think there's another set of stairs at the far end.
There is. Yeah. I've just brought you back to the outer deck. You can make your way up to the towards the other end. Easily done. There are definitely other sets of steps at the far end.
What's the crow's nest looking like? What is it? Just a crow's nest or nest?
Yeah,
or is it
there's
like
definitely
another
there's
cigarette?
definitely a crow's nest up there. Looks high up. It's a there's a 3 sail thing going on, but it's it's the biggest set of sails you've ever seen on a ship. But then this is the biggest ship you've ever seen in your life.
Words.
Hello.
Cal's going to remember something that the king said, and he's just going to kneel down, sort of place his hand on the deck, and kind of almost like just in respect.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
What do you feel, Cal? I'm going to follow Cal as well. I'm going to be like, just kind of, I get the gist of what he's trying to do as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you. Cal, can you roll me a d20, please? Just a straight d20. Okay. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you. Right, so yes, you guys make your way to, obviously there's some stairs that lead you up to the front gunnery planks, and then obviously another set of stairs that do appear to Cal lead down like you were thinking previously.
Cal, did you get a funny feeling when you touched the deck? It's a bit weird, wasn't it?
I've constantly got a funny feeling here, to be honest.
Oh, there's like 100 figures downstairs.
Let's head down these stairs.
Makes my ears stand on end. Let's go down.
Okay, yeah. Directly at the bottom of the stairs, there appears to be a door directly in front of you, and then a bunch of spaces off to one side, leading round to other parts of the boat, as far as you can tell.
Okay. There we go. Captain's quarters. It would appear so, anyway.
Okay, so yes, you make your way into that room there on that one. This cabin seems more luxurious than the rest of the ship. The bedding is made in finely spun silks, and there are curtains across the windows. The wallpaper is textured with gold filigree. The wooden floor and furniture has been recently cleaned and waxed. Seems very fresh and clean smelling. The desk at the rear of the room seems to be scattered with papers and a journal, as far as you can see.
Anything in the paper? Oh,
yeah, I was going to say.
Let's have a look at the journal.
Maps, journals.
No problem, yeah. Having a quick look through the leather-bound journal, it looks like this has several entries that seem to be written in a hand by the name of Esther Arklander when you see the name that is written out in one point. It recounts the history of the Ultros. It refers to Esther Arklander and a bunch of actions. Silas's name is in there, talking about Gygan Wars, taking the battle to Sidon, and just his escapades on the seas. And then as you flick through the pages to sort of later pages, the wording gets more and more scattered and harder to understand. You get things of why did she trick me? How did she trick me? Are we cursed forever? Is there any way out of this godforsaken place and what we have now become? And then again, Luke becomes rantings of a madman again, and peters off. So yeah, it's a very it seems like the descent into madness of someone that's been writing that journal.
I wonder if Silas's presence when seeing the guy that's standing at the end will make a difference.
Possibly. I think we're going to have to go and have a
peek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When you guys do take a peek and have a look around the corner, what you can notice that with this person, as you're up closer to them now, is that they appear to have a set of drums in hand, a large drum.
That'd be to power the ship, I guess, wouldn't it?
Kira is around, but she doesn't want much to do with any of this. Silas and Heliod, I think you noticed that the map on the desk is a very good map of the of the entire region, not just the heartlands, but the actual seas as well. Apologies. So it looks like a very good navigational map of the seas, if that makes sense, which is kind of handy.
Cal's popping back to the map.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a pen or a...
Yeah, there's definitely things around somewhere. Yeah, there absolutely would be in amongst stuff here. Yeah.
Can he, looking at the map, can he locate and then matching it up to the map that we got from the king where we're supposed to be going?
Fair enough. So the map you already have from the king is like a small portion of one of the main island. You realise that the map you're looking at here is, if it's not the entire world, it must be close to being the entire world map. Whereas what the king gave you was a small map of part of the heartlands, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like it's like seeing what you're used to seeing is a map of the heartlands, which is the main island. This is like a map showing all the islands as far as you can see. It's a vastly bigger map showing all manner of different islands on there. The Heartland Island is there. There's something called I can't remember the name of the thing, but there's plenty of other islands on the list that I'll get you the. I didn't put the map in here yet of the full islands, but it is one showing every possible location on there. Even something that's marked up as Praxis ? Up in one corner.
Woody, does this ship having like other firepower at all, like cannons or that kind of thing, or was it just those crossbows?
It seems to be the ballistas from what you can see, but maybe there's more going on than magically that you're not aware of in the moment. Okay. Guns are not really a thing, if that makes sense, so you don't have lots of cannons or anything like that.
Whether it's that kind of era yet, or some kind of thing that blasts, you know.
It's all ballista based or trebuchet based is mainly barring magic. Of course, there's magic coming out of the wazoo for different things on that front.
Has the drummer moved at all when I've stepped next to him like that?
She, as far as you can see, does turn her head towards you, and she will actually start looking on that one, and she says to you, "Is it our time now?
Time to sail. Are you ready?"
We are to return to mytross. Is that our goal?
Time to set sail.
She sort of nods at that. You're assuming she is set. Whatever she's thinking taking the ship to mytross, as far as you can tell. She begins to start drumming.
But not the mytross.
She stops and starts to look round at you. But we must go home, or we will never be free.
We are well aware. If you can help us, I'm sure that we can help you.
If we are free, the ship can be yours. If you can gain control of it. But that will be up to Esther. I am under his order. I am under his order. No one else is at this time.
Where is
Esther?
I do not know. And she looks genuinely taken aback by that. I was ordered to wait for your orders to send me to mytross, to send the ship there. It is the only order I can follow.
Intriguing.
Do you wish me to set course?
There is a... is there a storage hold below this level?
She nods.
It is locked. Can you unlock it?
Not that I know of. Esther would be the only one with the key. He controls all here. Ever since
Indeed.
the wars. We are all bound by his folly. By his curse.
What was your last destination before here?
We came here over a century ago. After we decided, we attempted to free ourselves and failed.
Who told you to come here?
It was Esther's last order.
From who?
Esther.
Who told Esther?
Esther Arklander is the guy that runs the ship, the captain that you are aware of.
Does
He was the
anyone
one
else tell Esther what to do?
I do not know. But he got us and himself cursed by someone. I assume he took orders from someone. And that cursed us all.
I think we have a look at that little hole down the bottom, Cal.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try that, and then maybe one of us will sit in the seat. The
I assume
captain.
this is not a hole, is it?
Yeah, I'm assuming you haven't told her to set course.
We haven't. No, we've
no,
left
fair
it
enough.
there.
No problem. No problem. So yeah, you guys go back to the back of the ship to try the doorways once more. I guess the hatch that leads to the floor below. Have you got any ideas of how to? Have you got any thoughts of how you achieve what you're trying to achieve?
There could be a key in his room, I guess.
Could be. Yeah, you can make an investigation check. Yeah.
Can you do an investigation for his room? See if there's anything in there.
Oh dear.
Ooh, Cal. No. Yeah. Barring the hammocks. Yeah, absolutely. You can make an investigation check, Silas or Heliod. You can make an investigation check that in. That's no problem on that one.
Okay.
Can you make an investigation check then, Helo, please?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, with a 15, there appears to be a small locked iron box that seems to be tucked under the bed, Heliod. Heliod, you got the higher on.
Small iron box. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick it up and see if I can open it.
Yeah, it seems to be like it's got a small little lock on the front of it, but there's definitely it's a little black iron box about the size of a... No, not a mimic. He's not. He doesn't seem to be stuck to it right now. But yeah, it's
a vicious pug.
It seems nice.
So it's locked at the moment, though. I can't.
It seems to be locked at the moment. Yeah, unless you've got any way of opening lock.
No rogues here, are there? Big lock.
Not so many. Not so much on the rogue front. On that front, you could smash it open. Would be one way of doing it.
What about?
Or you could look after it.
Your great axe on it, Medusius.
Yeah, I'll give it a little swipe.
Yeah, easily done.
On the floor and.
Yeah, you let him batter it open. That's not a problem to do. When he, I'm not going to have you roll for it because you can hit. You can definitely hit it as that goes on. So a couple of quick strikes. You managed to break the front off the lockbox without any issue. On the inside, 6 burnished coins drop onto the floor from it. These look like very nice looking coins, but when you actually look at them closer, they appear to have like dragons on them. Like beautiful looking dragon coins would be the best way of putting it as this going. There's a bunch of little bits of silver in there as well, and a few other gold pieces. So 75 silver pieces in there, and 35 gold pieces, along with these 6 dragonlord coins. That look ancient.
Do you add that to?
Yeah, I'll keep that in. I'll keep that in the party loot for now.
6 dragonlords.
Dragonlord coins.
Yeah, 6 burnished Dragonlord coins, yes, along with some silver pieces and some gold.
I am thinking perhaps we let them set sail for Mytross.
Yeah, maybe they need to finalise their journey or something.
That would set them free, and then, well, perhaps we need our own crew.
Yeah, maybe that wake up Esther as well.
Yeah.
If it's the only thing that's going to get them going, isn't it? What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
Question is, do we go up top or down below?
I'd definitely rather be on this boat without this crew.
Yeah, it is definitely disconcerting, Heliod, seeing the undead getting ready to crew a ship.
Don't we need? Okay, yeah, because Mytross may be where we get a crew then. Okay.
100%. Yeah, there are people in Mytross.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, I was wondering whether it was like a magical ship that these guys actually were the power behind it.
Maybe.
The question is, do we try and get down to this next level then by wrenching this door off or something?
No. I highly advise you don't wrench the door off this living vessel, Moody.
Good point, sir. Okay, let's go back
Let's
up.
go to Mytross.
Okay, so you head back to the drummer.
Head back to Obama.
We'll tell her.
Set sail
Yeah.
for Mytross.
Let's go
We'll set
set
you
you free.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's set you free, young lady.
You guys, you tell her to be able to set the course for Mytross. She seems to be pleased with that possibility, and she does start to beat the drum slowly but surely. It seems to rise and rouse the oarsmen, who slowly but surely start to row. Speed starts to pick up. Do you guys go to the upper decks, or do you hang out in here as this is all starting to go on?
We'll go to the upper deck, I think.
Yeah, upper deck.
I'd rather be away from this lot.
No problem. You guys make your way to the upper decks as this is all going on, and you basically find that the ship is picking up speed directly towards what looks like the edge of the lake and where the rocky cave side is, and it's picking up pace faster than you can imagine as this is going on.
Oh God!
The wall is getting closer and closer, and then go ahead. Is there anything you do in the moment?
Brace.
Okay, yeah, you brace on the side of the ship. You close your eyes for a moment, and when it should be that something happens, nothing does.
It's a mirage, is it?
And the ship is passing through the wall of as this is going on, and you can you start to see for a few moments what looks to be just solid rock moving past the sides of the ship as it starts to pick up speed, and then the ship seems to blast out into the waters beyond and into a pace on the river. The speed is way more than you would expect for something of this size to be doing. It's very disconcerting how quickly this thing starts to pick up speed as it's moving faster and faster. I think the way things go, you guys are on board. The crew below are relentless in what they do. Eventually, you guys have to decide to batten down for the evening and rest before because it'll be another day before the ship makes it back to Mytross. And I think what we'll do is we'll cut to the scene of when you guys finally do fall asleep that night. We get the final scene of the of everything that'll be going on. And you all dream of or you feel like dreaming of the exact same thing. All of you standing on the deck of the ship, and there is a man that Cal you will recognize that you have seen before in your dream. He's standing at the far end. The captain, Esther Arklander, the man that that you've seen the vision from the past that you interacted with once before, and you stand there on the deck with dozens of men and women around you, all with grim faces and ancient weapons. It feels like you're part of the ship's crew, and that you know that you have served this captain in countless battles. Standing at the prow of the ship, he is there with his long grey dreadlocks and his engraved bronze pauldrons. It marks him out as a legendary dragonlord, the same sort of armour that Silas is wearing. And he calls out across his entire crew on the deck with you guys there. I have summoned you all here for a grave purpose. Tomorrow I walk into the fires of Typhon and become like a god. Then henceforth I shall be immortal, perhaps even as powerful as Kentamane, the 100-handed god. I will have no need for such a ship as this, and I will not call myself captain at that point. It has been a great honour to fight alongside you all in the war against the Gigans. We have toppled their wretched cities and flooded their oceans with blood. But now is the time for me to choose a worthy successor, a new captain for the Ultros. I will choose a new captain from among my loyal Thanes, and he's sort of pointing at all of you in front of him on that one. Each of you swore a blood oath to serve me, and I call upon you to swear the oath to the Ultros. Only a man that has made that oath will she ever listen to, and can command the ship, as I have done in the past.
My hand on the deck, I swear.
And he says, repeat these words after me, all that will do. I swear upon my life's blood that I shall captain the Ultros with honour. Even should we sail into the maw of the Nether Sea, my fate shall forever be bound to hers.
Repeating the words.
Yep, I don't expect you to remember, but yeah, whoever's going. Does everybody take that oath, or do?
What you said.
Yeah, Asmodeus and Cal are definitely agreeing.
Yeah.
Heliod, do you agree to? Do you make that same? Do you make that same pledge, or do you not in this on this moment? Andy,
I don't know. Would it be safer if some of us didn't make that pledge as well?
You've just got to make that judgment. It's just making that judgment in the moment.
Yeah, I'll just sort of stand back and watch at the moment.
Okay, no problem. Jew, are you there as well for Silas, or are you off?
I'm here.
Would he make an oath to be able to swear to to be the captain of this ship, or would he not in the moment, do you think?
Yeah, I would swear the oath.
Okay, so three of you take that oath in the moment. Okie dokie, no problem. So yeah, you all swear that exact same message on that front. And then Esther steps forward and looks at the three of you that took the oath and goes, "Good, my loyal crew. Well done. Well done. There are traitors amongst us. And these Thanes, Davos, Metron, and Scathon, they need to be dealt with. I now, as the new captains as you will be, request that you deal with them in the decks below. Once you're done, come back to me, and we will talk of your next steps." And that's where we'll leave it for tonight, guys.